You're listening to an interview taken from the Tonic Talk Show and Podcast, heard exclusively on Zoomer Radio. To download or listen to the original episode or other episodes of The Tonic, please visit thetonic.ca.
Joel Thuna is a master herbalist and general manager of Purely Natural. He strives to improve the quality of natural products on the market and passes along his knowledge of herbal remedies through lectures and articles. Joel is also a regular and valued contributor to Tonic Magazine. Welcome back to the show.
As always, it's my pleasure on this beautiful, bright day.
Yeah, so we were noodling about topics because, you know, there are only so many health and wellness topics that you can cover. But we came up with an optimistic piece this month because people will be getting out and people will be getting out into nature. Yep. And with that, people will get, you know, small injuries, aches, pains, etc. And they may not want to deal with chemicals and products they can get that may not be natural. So what we're going to look at is the all-natural first aid kit.
A very valuable thing, no question of that.
So why does it make sense to have one, and what's sort of the background for this?
Well, as you stated, part of the problem is that there are tons of wonderful things out there in the allopathic or conventional medicine world to help with minor aches, strains, just the minor little things that happen every day. The problem is the vast majority of them, they do a good job, but at the same time they have side effects that many people don't want, and some of them are quite toxic. Now, I'm not one of those people who advocates go natural first no matter what, no matter what, no matter what. If you're someone who's got something that needs to go to a hospital, go to a hospital. Get the emergency taken care of, get out of danger, then you can start looking at natural things. But natural things you should be looking usually first if it's something minor that can be treated that way.
Right. And I know you advocate sort of knowledge as one of the tools in the kit, right?
Oh, definitely. The first thing is you have to know what you're doing because, quite frankly, flailing around isn't going to help.
Right.
We recommend always getting the knowledge from the source, be it St. John's Ambulance or be it from community-based groups like many community centers. Even some religious organizations hold regular classes explaining how to do first aid. Because if you don't know what you're doing, you could actually do harm rather than help.
Right. And then, of course, you know, there's no one kit that's going to, you know, it would be unwieldy to have everything that you absolutely needed. So there's different kinds of kits, right? There's the home and away, let's call it. Yeah?
Definitely. Well, my family, for example, we have a kit for my house, which is fairly large. It's not tiny. Yeah. Then we have one that we take on vacations and camping, and then we have two itty-bitty ones for our cars. And depending on the level of requirement and the reality of what likely or potentially could happen depends on what you put in a kit and how big the kit actually is. And what I mean by that, for example, is I have a kit at my office that's designed for 15 people. I'm not going to take that on a vacation with me. It's just unwielding. It's huge.
Right.
At the same time, I'm not going to take the kit from my car that's designed to fit in a door pocket and use it at work. It's not going to cut mustard there.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about what's universal. Like if you were going to start having a kit, whether it's at home or for travel, what would you put in it?
Well, the first thing is any kit, regardless of its size, has to have certain things that you're saying.
Yeah.
Bandages, and not just regular everyday. You want to have patch, butterfly, heavy-duty bandages, large bandages, small bandages, waterproof, knuckle bandages. You want to have a good range of them because you have no idea what's going to happen.
Yep.
On top of that, you want to have medical tape, gauze, cotton balls, alcohol swabs, alcohol towelettes, tweezers, finger splints, scissors, gloves, safety pins, and definitely matches and instant cold packs. Mm-hmm. Those cannot be overstated. You never know when you're going to need them. Now, the nice thing is often you can go to any store that would carry any of these things, and they'll have a ready-made bandage kit, for example. That'll have, for example, 10 of each of the bandages and all the other things. You don't even open it. It's normally in a sealed little plastic container or in almost like a pencil case. You take it and throw it into your kit and then add other things. That way it's nice. You know if it's unopened that it's full inventory. There's no issue. It'll have an expiry date on it, and you just keep using it until the expiry date. Then you remove it, get a new one.
Okay. Let's talk about the simplest of kits, the smallest one, which is the car kit. So what would you supplement for the one that's in your car?
Well, everything that we said earlier.
Yep.
Then I would add hand sanitizer. And the reason is, as we all know, hand sanitizer is invaluable.
Yep.
But the thing is, the last thing you want to do is introduce any bacteria into a wound that you're trying to trying to clean.
Yep.
Now, the thing is, first thing you want to do is clean the wound with, for example, one of the alcohol towelettes or something to clean it. But then, assuming you can't get anywhere with soap and water for your hand because it's a car kit, you want to make sure your hands are as clean as they can be. So you'll clean off your hands with a rag or whatever you can to get rid of the dirt. Then you want to get rid of the bacteria, so that's when you use the hand sanitizer.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing you want to do is have elastic bandages. These are the long, stretchy fabric rolls that can be used to tightly wrap injuries like sprains,
Yep.
to reduce swelling, or they can also be used as a tourniquet, or the use that we most often use them for in my house is to hold cotton cold pads against the skin.
Right.
Some of them, the old-fashioned kind, come with those really interesting, they look almost like butterfly clips.
Right.
The newer ones come with pieces of Velcro. Both work just as well.
Okay. What about Nutraceuticals? Is there anything you take along with you?
Definitely. I have two go-tos in there. One is, depending on what I can get at the time, either a tea tree ointment or a tea tree cream.
Mm-hmm.
The reason are these are highly antibacterial, can be applied directly to any wound pretty much, and you can also put them directly on a bandage. Put them on, they help prevent infection, and they help speed up healing.
Okay.
The big thing, though, is remember, although you can ingest tea tree oil, you do not want to ingest the ointment or the cream, ever.
Okay.
The next one is ginger. Ginger is one of my go-to remedies. I use it for a ton of things. And in a car, it's invaluable because inevitably someone at some point in time is going to, either they're naturally queasy or they ate something weird, they're going to feel ill or nauseous. And ginger is wonderful for settling the stomach and aiding digestion. I always have water in my car personally. I bring it in, take it out, bring it in, take it out. So I keep ginger in certified organic capsules, nice and easy to take. If you're someone who doesn't keep water in your car, just have some nice, really strong ginger mints or candied ginger.
Okay. That sounds like good advice and pretty simple.
Yeah, nice and easy.
So let's move on to a more sophisticated pack. Let's say I was going camping or, I'm hiking or something along those lines. What would you recommend for going out into nature?
Well, what we would add to our kit that we've already created is, first thing we would have organic vegan probiotics and activated charcoal.
Okay.
And the reason behind that is whenever you travel, even if it's not that far, even if it's just into cottage country, you run the risk of digestive illness and upset. The further you are from home, the more likely it is to happen, but it can still happen if you're close by. And this can range from just a minor annoyance all the way up to incapacitating you and ruining your trip.
Yeah.
We make sure to take them with us always, and we take them every meal through our trips, and we've never regretted it. In our case, my family, we managed weeks on end in the jungle and backcountry of Asia with a 4-year-old. Everyone thought we were nuts because we sat down at every meal and had these capsules. But you know what? We lasted 6 weeks without a single illness.
Wow.
Everyone thought
good for you.
That was amazing.
I'm just amazed you took a 4-year-old on that trip, but go on.
The next thing we would do is we take insect sting relief pads and itch relievers.
Okay.
Inevitably, in weather like this, someone's going to get an insect sting or bite that will drive them nuts or worse. Sting relief pads help relieve the pain after you've removed the stinger with your tweezers that are already included in your kit.
Yep.
And the itch relievers help reduce the need to scratch those black fly, mosquito, and other insect bites that just drive you nuts and make being outdoors a pain.
Yep.
So having those, great. But what you can also do, and we pack as well, is lemon eucalyptus spray. Other people also use citronella spray to prevent the bites in the first place.
Right. The bugs don't like the citronella.
They do not. But the latest ones, I'll be honest, a lot of bugs don't like citronella. I found better success with lemon eucalyptus.
Okay.
And it's not lemon and eucalyptus as two separate things mixed together. Lemon eucalyptus is its own unique species, and there's great research on it. It's even endorsed by the EPA in the United States.
Okay. And you're saying that's readily available? We can find that in the stores?
Oh, yeah, it's readily available. Anywhere that will have insect spray should have it. If you're not familiar with the brands that have it, just ask them for something with lemon eucalyptus in it.
Okay.
Also, always have a digital thermometer. And the reason you want digital as opposed to the old-fashioned kind is the old-fashioned kind break.
Yep.
Much easier. You don't want to chase mercury around a room. Digital thermometers, always handy. And the real important value to a digital thermometer is if you have printed out, like we do with our digital thermometer, just a listing of, it's a chart essentially that says, okay, temperature of this, okay, it's just a fever. Temperature this, it's this. Temperature this, go to a hospital. This way it lets you know when something is no longer in the range that you can take care of and you have to seek proper medical attention.
Right. I think, what is it, 103 Fahrenheit is the cutoff, I thought, but yeah.
I believe it's around there. As I say, I have it in my kit always.
Yeah. Okay.
The next item is white willow bark.
What's that?
Willow is a specific willow tree, like some of us have in our backyard, that's referred to as nature's aspirin. White willow specifically contains salicin, which is a compound very similar to aspirin. It's potent and a well-tolerated pain reliever for almost any type of pain. Now, here's the caveat with it. If you're someone who has safety issues with aspirin, i.e. if you have Rye syndrome, do not use willow.
Okay.
Do not. But if you don't, which is the majority of us, willow's a great, safe alternative.
Right. The next one on your list is it's simple and intuitive, but, it absolutely should be on the list.
Oh, definitely, because most people never think of it.
Yep.
Saline.
Yep.
Just saline solution. It's readily available. You can get it almost everywhere. It's incredibly inexpensive. But the big thing with this one is a lot of people, if they do think of saline, will buy a bottle, a liter or 2 liters, and then open it up and pour it into small containers. You don't want to do that. Buy a container that you're going to actually take with you because it's sterile. That's very important because having it sterile means you can use it for many more things than if it isn't. We were on a vacation, actually, my wife and I, many, many years ago in Georgia, and my wife got an infection that she had to go to a hospital for. We got out of the hospital, and they told us upon it that she had to irrigate it regularly with sterile saline.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since then, we have always taken saline with us, never a question. The other big thing used for it is if you're someone like myself who ends up having dry eyes or itchy eyes, sterile saline is a godsend.
Right, because then you're not rubbing it and perhaps infecting it in the first place. Okay.
Oh, it's amazing, the difference you feel.
What's next on your list?
Next are 2 that people have probably heard of, arnica and comfrey ointments. Mm-hmm. And what they're for, and they can be used interchangeably, are for bruises and sprains. Both of them have been used topically for centuries to reduce the pain and swelling of bruises and speed up their healing. Comfrey contains a little bit of an upgraded constituency in the fact that it also contains something called allotonin. Mm-hmm. And allotonin is a compound that naturally stimulates the growth of new tissue and helps wounds heal even faster. But some people find it a little hard to find comfrey. That's why I also include an arnica here.
And the next one is one that I'm sure everybody knows, and that's aloe vera, yeah?
Oh, aloe, yes. Aloe is king. Aloe, if you've ever had a sunburn or know anyone who has, aloe is their best friend.
Yep.
It cools the burn, soothes the inflammation, speeds up the healing of all types of burns, not just sunburn. If you have minor contact burns even, you can use aloe on it quite well.
Okay. What else would you recommend?
One that very few people think of, which surprised me, is chamomile tea. And when I say tea, I actually mean the tea bags. And the reason is the tea bags are more versatile than the bulk itself. Chamomile, as some may know, is a gentle, very mild, wonderful tasting, actually, tea. Mm-hmm. And you can use it with kids. It helps soothe upset stomach. It helps you relax. And it can even take the edge off enough to help you sleep. Now, the reason you want to do it in a tea bag is if you need, moist tea bags help soothe any skin irritations. Yep. So you drink the tea, enjoy the tea, then take the moist tea bag out, squish it a little so it's not really wet, and just put it anywhere where you have skin irritation, and it'll help soothe it.
Okay.
The next one is particularly valuable in colder climates, not right now, is organic elderberry capsules.
Okay.
Elderberry is a go-to remedy for stopping colds and flu from ruining your vacation. On top of that, the berries themselves contain a compound that not only helps prevent the cold and flu viruses, it also helps prevent infection from other respiratory viruses. And it helps them by essentially stopping them from invading the cells and taking the cells over. It's also wonderful if you're flying because, as we all know through this COVID, we've learned that when you're flying, you're exposed to tons of different viruses because the air in the airplane, it's excellent to have some elderberry capsules just before and during your flight. I find I do that on long-haul flights. Much happier.
I know you have a longer list. We only have time really for one more. What's your last go-to item?
My last go-to item would probably be organic turmeric capsules. And the reason is that turmeric, like ginger, is a multi-pronged thing. It's a potent circulation stimulant. It's an excellent digestive stimulant. But its biggest use is as an anti-inflammatory. If you're out and about on your trip, like, for example, we go for hikes, in the end, you're going to get some little tweaks in joint inflammation, and you don't want that pain there. Turmeric can help keep the inflammation in check before it becomes a problem, and then you need the ice pack, etc. So we recommend taking turmeric every day while you're out, and that way you don't have the problem even to worry about.
Fantastic. So with the other items that we didn't get to today, we'll put it on the website if people are interested. But thank you so much for coming on the show today and helping us with all these amazing products that we can use at home and outdoors.
Not a problem. Wonderful. Thank you. And once people look on the site, if they have any questions, please throw them through. I'd love to answer them.
Fantastic. Next month, you're going to come back and you'll discuss more health and wellness topics, yes?
Definitely.